the context, who have studied it all their life. It's like, for example, it's like me asking you, if you read a book in English, which you understand English, yes, would anyone trust you to perform an operation on your sister, for example?
Okay, that's different.
No, why is it different? Because you're saying as long as I understand, it makes sense, I will take the action. But now it's a matter of life and death. For your own sister, you wouldn't.
It's because I'm not qualified to do operations on her, but I am qualified to understand my own religion.
Are you qualified to interpret the Quran by yourself if you don't even know, even if you don't know basic Arabic?
I'm not teaching people. I'm going myself.
Bro, even for yourself, if you don't know Arabic,
I am qualified to do this because it's my faith, dude.
What do you mean?
I'm not putting my faith in somebody else's hands.
Who said you're qualified to interpret the Quran?
Who said I'm qualified to do it? I'm qualified because he says Alam Taqilun.
Say again, because?
Alam Taqilun. Do you not think? Do you not reason? I use my own brain. And if I am putting my faith in something, I need to be able to make sure that it's clear. When I see, for example...
No, obedience. I'm saying in terms of obedience. The obedience is to Allah. Of course there is obedience. What do you mean there's no obedience? Obedience to Allah.
Government, it is in laws of land. But it's not about the laws of God. Whether I believe in eating pork or not eating pork, this is all based on...
Would you not put your trust in the ulama?
In the what?
In the ulama.
No.
Okay, then you don't follow the Quran.
Okay. The reason.
Only al-amr minkum includes the ulama.
Okay, so if the ulama, they say, for example, don't wear gold. Don't wear gold. Okay.
Don't wear gold.
تشبه بالنساء.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
For the women or the men?
For the men. تشبه means you're looking like a woman. The Quran says لا تتشبهوا بالنساء.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that this means to look like women. So what I'm saying is like.
If the ulama tell you
do not wear gold
yeah.
because this is tashabbuh of nisa.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, I'm not saying I wear gold. Look, I wear silver. I don't care about gold. I'm saying about sticking things on to the laws of God.
No, but Allah...
It's your translation.
No. It's not your translation. No, it's not. It's just like the way you got the Quran.
Why did he not say do not wear gold?
Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? If Allah says, Atiullah wa atiur Rasul, in fact, He already gave you the ayah. When Allah and His Rasuls make something... Yes.
I agree, I do.
So the answer is already in the Quran. The answer is already in the Quran. This is not the ulama saying, this is what the Rasul said.
He forbid us to wear gold.
So what I'm saying, how do I know that what you're presenting as the Prophet is the Prophet?
I have to give you just one question and you answer sincerely. To you, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, after khalqillah, what it mean to you? Is he just a postman? Is he just a postman?
Came and yes,
he's just like a postman.
He's a Rasul, yes.
Yeah. Like
what does Rasul mean in that context?
Yeah, what do you mean? The postman. He give you the book and he tell you deal with that.
Is that it? So basically, that's exactly what he's saying.
He give you the
so
book
you're saying he's just like a deliverer of message. That's it.
That's correct.
So he doesn't need to explain anything. He doesn't himself have to practice it.
I mean, it's in the word itself. Rasul means to deliver, literally somebody who delivers.
So you think you're a literalist then? Are you a literalist?
Literalist?
A literalist. You just go based on the literal word.
No, I don't. Look, for example, the problem to me is that when you are adding or like stipulating things in the name of God.
Allah praise Rasul in the Quran.
Of course. Does that mean he's a bad person? Do you think I'm saying he's a bad person?
I'm not saying that, but you are putting Rasulullah alayhi sallam as a postman. He came, he give you the Quran. Yeah. He give you the Quran, and you can deal with that. You don't need Rasul. Rasul for you only to give you the book.
I think he explained it to the people of the past, but today, I really can't confirm what you are telling me is the
So how would you don't believe in the scholars, you said earlier. Did the scholars not transmit the Quran to you?
They did.
Maybe they did.
What do you mean maybe? Who brought the Quran to you in the 21st century?
Scholars, sure. I'm sure.
But you said you don't believe in the scholars. So how can you trust them to deliver the message to you?
The problem is that it's not about believing in what the scholars. I'm not saying that scholars are bad people. They can do good things. I'm saying, for example, they brought the Quran.
How do you know that?
I'm sorry?
How do you know the scholars brought the Quran to you?
Because when I read the Quran, to me, it makes sense.
No, how do you know the scholars brought the Quran to you?
Oh, it's because they claim that they brought it.
So you believe that claim?
It doesn't really matter.
It does matter.
The Quran doesn't reflect.
How do you know that the Quran
doesn't reflect?
Wait. How do you know that they did not change things in the Quran? They put it in such a way it makes sense to you.
Maybe they did. Then they brought a doctrine that makes sense.
Yeah, and you believe in any doctrine that makes sense. Whether it is from the Muslims or the non-Muslims. Am I right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, I think we should end it here
It's
because
not-
you certainly are not a Muslim by that definition.
No, I am a Muslim.
No, you're not.
I
I'm
believe
sorry to
in-
say that.
No,
So it's
I
just
do.
like the Christians claim they believe in one God, but they don't actually. You, my friend,
I believe in
After-
God and I believe His
No, it doesn't
Rasul,
matter.
and I believe in all of them.
it doesn't
I'm
matter.
saying
It
what
doesn't
you're
matter if you believe in
what
Allah and the
What you're
Rasul.
bringing as the
You
Rasul
said you will.
is not
You
confirmation
said
for me that
you
the
said
Rasul
you will
actually
believe
said
anything that makes sense to you, and from anyone, regardless of whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim. You just said it by yourself. By that definition itself,
Sorry.
you said you will believe anything that makes sense to you, regardless of whether it is from a Muslim or a non-Muslim.
If they come in and they're saying that this is the word of God, okay? Well, to be honest, first of all, the Quran says that there's no other messengers after, okay? So
No, but that is in the Quran. It's a circular argument.
I agree with that. I'm saying if somebody comes after, okay,
Yeah.
and they're saying that they're a prophet, okay, then I have to scrutinize what they're saying, okay?
On what criteria would you use?
The fact that the same criteria that the Quran made sense to me.
No, but
I'm
the
telling you.
Quran, how do you know first and foremost,
Sure.
how do you know that the Quran has been reliably transmitted to you in Arabic, in the language which you
number
don't know
one-
well?
Oh, okay.
Also, no, I'm not trying to put it down now. You yourself have claimed that you don't know Arabic well. Okay, you need to acknowledge that.
I don't.
Good,
I
Alhamdulillah.
wonder
So you
if-
don't know Arabic well.
Sure.
How would you scrutinize something that you don't even know the language?
I would translate it.
But now you're basing it again on somebody else to translate it for you. But that translation can be subjective.
I agree with that. That's what I'm not saying. Dude, look, you're not understanding.
I'm understanding quite well.
I'm taking the words that you're taking, the definitions that you are giving.
Yeah.
Okay? They belong in lexicon. What is it called?
Lexicon, yeah.
Lexicon.
Lexicon.
So I'm taking these definitions. They belong in there. They're in there.
Yeah.
I'm saying when you take these definitions and you apply them in the Quran,
Who defined
it
them?
doesn't make sense.
Who defined them? Did Allah define them?
I'm not
Or
sure.
did the,
Lisan
come on, you should know
al-Arabi,
that.
I'm not-
Yeah, Lisan al-Arab is not Lisan al-Arab is not a wahi. Okay? It is a man-made definition, but
Agreed.
of course by scholars.
Sure.
But again, you're putting your faith in scholars now. Earlier you said no, I will
Oh,
not.
yeah, dude. Okay, dude. Language
give
is
him
very.
that,
You
give him
have to
that.
base it. You have to base it.
But my point exactly, you have to
I-
rely on
of course I have
scholars.
to rely.
But earlier you said you don't.
I'm trying to take in.
Why shouting? Calm down.
Sorry.
Earlier you said you don't trust the scholars.
I'm saying I don't trust everything they say.
So how do you trust everything in the lexicon?
Because I take some things that they say. They give me some things. They give me.
criteria?
So for example, tafsir. I don't. ما بفسر كل شيء. I don't explain everything لحالي. By myself. I don't do this by myself. I read every person like Hilali and Khan and I don't know Muhammad Asad. I read all like their work, what they have to say about it.
Those are scholars.
And I use my brain and I see which one makes more sense.
Have you ever made a mistake in your life?
Of course.
So when you're going to use your brain,
Sure.
yes, and you're mistaken,
Sure.
specifically translating, specifically translating and understanding the Quran,
Sure.
yes, could you mistranslate it?
Of course.
Of course. Then how can you be certain about your salvation?
I'm not. I'm certain because in Allah Ghafurur Rahim. That He's forgiving. I'm going in with true intentions, trying to figure
So
out
because
what God
Allah,
is saying to
wait,
me.
wait, Allah
I'm trying to
if
figure
Allah
out.
says He's Ghafurur Rahim, doesn't mean He's going to forgive everyone, is it?
He's not.
Specifically for those people,
I'm not going
Allah,
into
Allah
slash
specifically says about those people who follow their their desires.
I'm not going in to follow my desires.
You are, my
No,
friend.
I'm
Even
not.
even though you don't admit it, you are.
Okay, look, I'll give you an example.
Because he says,
For me-
based on my reasoning, based on my
yeah, yeah.
understanding,
Yeah,
based,
yeah,
so when you
yeah,
say
from
me,
Yes.
this is your desires.
I think God will judge me on that. On
Of
what-
course He's
what
going to
I
judge
think-
you. When
So
Allah
what
Himself
so what do you
says,
want me to do? What Sunni Muslims tell me to do, I should do it. That's what you're saying.
No.
why only Sunni Muslims?
Because that's the hadith. That's where the hadith comes from. Right? That Islam,
Are you saying the Shias don't have
the
hadith?
Sunni
What's your name?
hadith.
What's your
Okay.
name, brother? What's your name? Omar. I will ask you just a question. Have you ever read any hadith in Muslim
I
or
read
Bukhari?
I read up to volume 3 of Bukhari. I read up to volume 3
Okay.
of Bukhari. and
The
I
question,
stopped.
next question is, what did you not like about hadith?
Let's not
Any
get
hadith?
into that, brother, because
One hadith.
we'll be here all day. Let's deal with the Quran itself.
Because I will
If he
give him
doesn't
the
know where the
criteria.
Quran came
the
from-
criteria is the Quran, as he says. He believes in the Quran. We give you the criteria only Quran. Okay. What did you read in Bukhari or Muslim go against the Quran?
An example would be, for example, ummi. Ummi means illiterate. Okay, ummi means illiterate, right?
Illiterate, yeah.
They're translating it as illiterate.
yeah.
If you take ummi and you look at the true definition, okay, it can mean unschooled or somebody who's never gotten the law.
In English. بس بشكل انجليزي عربي عربي.
illiterate means you can't.
امي
ما
جاي
نتعلم. ممكن
من
يكون-
الام من الام
Yes,
امي
أمي means he doesn't know how to
من
read or
الام
write.
ما راح مدرسة. He didn't go to school.
Sure.
Yeah, he's from mother tongue basically, from his nature.
So the
Ummi
hadith says
means-
Muhammad was illiterate, for example.
Yeah,
Okay.
means he
Now for me,
he didn't study. That's
For-
what he means. He means he didn't study.
he didn't study. So
Yeah.
did he know how to read or write?
Maybe.
Maybe or not?
Maybe yes, maybe
No,
no.
because apparently, like one of the hadiths is like saying that the miracles of it is that he didn't know how to read or write. So how could he come up with this?
Allah chose Muhammad Ummi for a reason. For
No, but
nobody
you're
to say.
assuming that he is.
It was
Again?
knowledgeable
Manchester,
about
right?
the
No.
language or about poetry or about anything. That's
Not
why
me. I didn't go
Allah
Manchester
سبحانه
recently.
وتعالى من حكمته اختار النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام أمي.
Could he read or
Because
write?
people they will say, he knows.
Yeah, I think we
I
should-
agree. It means
You know
it means
you are
on
good in the poetry.
It means on
Ummi,
school.
Habibi, Ummi doesn't always means he doesn't know how to read or write.
Like I told you,
No, but that's what
we'll
the
be here all day, brother.
أمي عربيا لغويا من الأم.
You want to come in?
الأخ هنا عربي
Yeah.
عربي أنت من سوريا صح؟ سوري أصلا. بيقول 7 سنوات ما سبع سنوات ما تكلمت عربية ولا؟
لا انا جيت لكندا عمري 6 ونص. انا صار لي 25 سنه.
25 سنة.
It's been quite a while.
ثابت عندك العربية شوي.
بحكي شوي مو كثير.
اوكي.
يبقى بس بدي افهم يعني.
The question is still stand up. What did you read in hadith? سواء Muslim or Bukhari and you found it against Quran. We give you the criteria as a Qurani because you
2.5% tax, for example. The zakat, the 2.5 tax, right? That's zakat, okay? Now what I'm saying
What was the
is
definition of zakat you gave earlier? Just remind us.
purity means purity. Zakat
So
means
zakat
purity.
doesn't mean charity, it means purity only.
I believe that if you hold it up, in every time zakat is used in the Quran, purity holds up every time, but charity does not hold up every time.
Can I ask you a question? Can you give purity away to someone? So when Allah uses ita is zakah, how can you give your purity to someone?